Good evening. It is 9 o'clock. It is 9 p.m. on January 7th, 2019. I cannot believe it is 2019. Once again, it's actually 9:01 now. I am Dr. Renita, and I am so excited to be live on my page this evening, and it's for a number of reasons, and we'll talk about those. Let me make this a little bit easier for you to see. Once again, so excited to be live this evening. Once again, Dr. Renita, and I am here this evening to share with you Leadership Live. Leadership Live. And I'm actually going to pop on over to my other Facebook page to make sure that we have everything straight for tonight and that I'm sharing this. I'm going to my page to share this now because it's important that I share Leadership Live, and I think it's important that you do the same. So if you want to take a few moments right when you jump on and you know some people who need to see Leadership Live, please share this episode, share this moment, share this live with your people, with your tribe. Share. So I'm sharing right now. Let's see, because you gotta put something fun in there. Here we go. Here we go. All right. I've shared it on my page. I hope you've shared it on yours. All right. So it's so exciting to be here this evening sharing my first of 52. You hear that commitment? I said it out loud. My first of 52 leadership lives here in 2019. So you may wonder, one, who am I? Two, what in the world is Leadership Live? And three, who am I to think that I should be the person to share it? Well, Leadership Live is a conversation or a sharing of experiences and ideas that brought me to my current place of leadership and my leadership style and my leadership desires. That's eventually what you'll see shape up from Leadership Live. Who am I? I am Dr. Renita L. Webb. I am a veteran educator. I am a minister. I am a wife. I am a mother of four children. I am an author. I am a speaker. I am a coach. I do a lot of things. But I am also a person who loves to share and nurture other people, share with and nurture other people. Hi, Marty. Good to see you here this evening. But who am I? I'm a person who has been through some unique leadership training, leadership experiences, and I have allowed myself to change and grow in the process. So why does that matter to you? There are leaders all over the place. Well, not all of those leaders really want to share with you. Hi, Tanya. Not all of those leaders will be honest with you. And it's always good to hear a different perspective of leadership. And I like to have fun, have some fun with it. So welcome to Leadership Live 2019. We're going to have a series of different topics, and they're going to be all rooted in some experience that I've had along my leadership journey. And this evening's episode is a case of an unlikely leader. A case of an unlikely leader. And I have one of my former students on right now. Hi, Ayana. It's unique when you get to see your students grow up and become wonderful adults. It's awesome. But a case of an unlikely leader. So my story this evening comes from an experience, one of my very first really noticeable and notated leadership experiences. And it was serving as the choreographer for my high school show choir. My high school show choir. When I was in high school, I was the choreographer for our show choir. Now, if you don't know what show choir is, if you've never experienced show choir, it is that you're singing and you have jazz hands and blades. You're giving it to the people and you're getting judged for it. And we were a competing show choir, and it was a lot of responsibility. Hey, Shonda. It was a lot of responsibility. Thought it appropriate and thought I could do it. And she put, at one point in time, the sole weight of doing all the choreography for every competition, for every performance, for all our big end of the year type concerts and things on my shoulders. And I was in high school, and it was a high school that where I didn't start. If you don't know the experience of being the new girl at a high school, it's a unique one. And it's not always one where you get to get into loops. I was fortunate in that high school to have gone to middle school with some of the kids, but you know, your freshman year of high school, you kind of set up new cliques, you join these in crowds, and it's not always accessible to people who were out of the loop for a year. But I was fortunate. I got to come in some wonderful places and spaces and really was accepted from the beginning. But that did not mean that these people were going to accept me as a leader in those spaces. So the case of the unlikely leader. Thank you, Shonda. Girl, I had to handle it. You'll hear why. So chorus. I had never been a part of chorus. Like, there was school chorus in middle school. I sang in the music class in elementary, but chorus in high school is a monster. It's a beast. If you've ever seen the movie Pitch Perfect, like, that's real. And that's the a cappella groups. This is a group that had music and a band, and people were, they knew who the soloists were going to be, and there were certain people who, kind of vibe for those positions, and some who almost automatically had these things. And here comes this new girl, getting into a group that is very selective, and then an even smaller group that was even more selective. And I walked into those spaces, and I had to rely on my confidence in who I was, and what I could do. I knew I could sing. I knew I could dance, even though I'd never been in a chorus class. I walked into the door as if I could do it. I also, this was coming off an experience my freshman year where I ended up doing a musical, Little Shop of Horrors, at a school where I was kind of the new girl. I went to school with some people I knew, but I had never done musical theater. And I just walked into an audition, decided I wanted to sing a song for fun, and left the audition, didn't know anything about it. But that experience, I actually got a lead role. That experience helped me understand this is something I could do and it's something I could enjoy. So I walked into my high school chorus, my sophomore year of high school, and got into some places and spaces where I could do some incredible things and be a part of, for lack of a better word right now, a more elite crowd of choral members who were very dedicated and very passionate about their craft. But I also had a teacher who saw something in me, and she gave me an opportunity to teach a group very early. She must have saw that I learned things quickly, and I met this amazing choreographer who was pretty noted around town, even beyond our town, for what she could do and what she did as a choreographer. And I learned some things from her, and I was able to teach them to the group. Well, then the next year, I became a choreographer for our group. And so there are a few reasons why I think she chose me. One, I'm favored. I told y'all I'm a minister. I started there. I am very favored by God. I'm convinced that's how I get a whole lot of things, because I'm not always qualified, but I'm favored. But as far as the human aspect, one, she saw potential in me. And some of you are wanting to be leaders or are leaders and wanting to do new things in leadership and maybe wondering why you're not getting what you think you should have. But sometimes you don't show people through your actions that you have potential to do more. If you are in a place and space where you have the opportunity to do whatever you're doing in excellence, that can in itself set you up for new areas of leadership, new opportunities for leadership. It's not even about going out and saying, oh, I want to be a leader. Oh, I want to do this. I want to run that. It's not about that. It's about being you and being awesome at whatever you do. That in itself will show somebody potential in you that may set you up for something that other people may not even think you deserve. The second thing is my performance spoke of my possibilities. That's the same idea of her seeing the potential in me. What I did showed her that I could potentially do more. And that opened so many doors. Even a year where I wasn't in the top group, she chose me to come do a number with that top group. Now, that may have stepped on some people's toes because clearly there was more people in that group, but she saw something in me and it desired her to see me in new spaces. You got to do things so people desire to see you in new spaces. She also believed that I could do the job and that I would get the job done. I did work. And it wasn't just in that space. When it came to academics, I got the job done. I was a member of other extracurricular activities such as cheerleading and dance team. I got the job done. And I didn't complain about it. I enjoyed it. I found my passions and I went with them and I rode with them. It showed people that I could get the job done, whatever the job was. And that gave me an opportunity to lead in a way that I didn't even ask for. Would you like to lead where you don't even ask? I didn't have to put in an application. My work spoke for me. I also had confidence. I knew what I could do, and I knew what I could do well, and I did them. I did those things. And because I did those things and I did them well, she saw my confidence. I wasn't cocky. And I think that's where some people who are leaders or want to be leaders get caught up. They get cocky. Confidence and cockiness are two very different things. And nobody really, really, really wants to follow that cocky dude or that cocky chick. They may for a while and say, oh, they got swag or whatever. But it's not really somebody they look up to, not for good reasons, particularly. Because that wears off. And people get tired of that. Confidence, though, where it feels different. It wears a different ensemble. It just makes you feel good to be around them and makes it so you can trust the person in what they're doing because they're confident. Don't be cocky. Be confident. Confidence will carry you a lot more places and open a lot more doors that cockiness will eventually shut. I was also cost effective. It costs money to get that noted choreographer. She wasn't cheap because she was good at what she does. She was grown. She was, a graduate of the high school system. She was a graduate of the college system, and she was experienced in major ways. She costs bucks, and I don't blame her. But I was a high school student with some skills, and I didn't cost that much. It's called nothing because it was called, I was performing anyway. So sometimes when you're the cost-effective choice, that gives you a chance too. But eventually, that cost-effective choice won't always be that cost-effective because they become proven and they have experience. Sometimes you have to go into places and spaces for experience. And you can't charge $99.95 off gate for 1 hour of service. You got to get the experience under your belt first. Let your experience speak to what you can negotiate price-wise. I was cost effective, and that's okay because I got some great lessons from it. And then finally, she thought that I was worth the risk. I was a risk. We could have lost everything. I could have been the most horrible choreographer. I could have had no creativity. I could have been a person who couldn't create, but I wasn't. It turned out I was decently good at that. Woo, 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 woo. It was something I could do, and I actually did it for years, even after I graduated from high school. But the question is, what did I learn from this? I learned some lessons. One thing I learned was how to deal with situations where I was leading my peers as well as those who were older than me. This came back to me in my very first principalship, or actually my assistant principalship. But learning to lead those who on your level, as well as those who had way more experience than you, is a tough lesson. Because the number one thing you have to do in that situation is gain their respect. They have to respect what you do in order to do what you say. And I mean, when you're yelling at 5, 6, 7, your hand looks a mess. Oh, what jazz blade? Nothing. What is that? Don't do that. I mean, I was not particularly always using the most effective leadership techniques in this situation, but I was there, I was present, I was live, I was listened to. I gained their respect. And that respect came through my own work ethic. It came through my own ability to show up and be there. Remember, I was in the group. So not only was I teaching the choreography, I was in the group. And I had to give my 100% just as much as I was expecting them to give theirs. If I got slack or lax, they would not care what I said. It was enough that I was less experienced and younger than a lot of people in these groups. But they did it. It helped later that it turned out that what I taught worked. We came home, we won competition after competition. It worked. But that wasn't the case at first. I had to show them what I could do. I had to help them enjoy it. You can't be a tyrant and be a new leader. You shouldn't be a tyrant and be an old leader. Let that rest on somebody. Leadership is when you really being a leader and you really want some good followers and you're really trying to grow other people. That means your leadership is not about dictatorship. It's about growth of others and sharing and serving. There's a difference. There's a difference. So gaining their respect. Also being a member of the team that I led. Now, I have been put in situations where I have been the leader. I have been the head honcho. I would use some other letters, but I'm not going to go there because I'm not bringing that into this broadcast today. Y'all, some people don't know me well enough that I can throw those 4 letters out. But I was it. I was the leader. But I am the leader. And I'm still in a situation right now. I have a nonprofit organization. At the end of the day, I am the founder. I am the leader. I am the president. But what I do, I can't do without everybody else. So why in the world would I rule with an iron fist? Why would I rule like a tyrant? It's not all about me. If I'm ruling anything, if I'm over anything, if I'm leading anything, it cannot possibly be all about me. Because I'm leading something. I'm leading some people. I'm leading someone. So it's about somebody other than me. I'm a vessel. I am honored to have been even chosen to be a part of these things. But in that situation, I was leading my own team, the team that I was literally a part of. So that meant that I had to show up and show out as much as I expected them to, if not more. If not more. Leaders, sometimes you got to take the reins and reign. Show the people how to get it done by getting it done, by being present, by giving 100%, by coming early, by staying late, by being there, by being it, being the example. Make people want to do what you do. Make people want to listen to what you have to say. Make people want to follow what you not say dictate, but what you prescribe. Your example of it makes it so much easier to follow. Makes it so much easier to follow. How did this warp into what I ended up doing in school systems and what I do with my nonprofit organization? I am on the team. I remember that. I remember that I am as much a member of the team as I am the leader of the team. Sometimes in leadership, we forget that. We forget that we are as much as a member of the team as we are the leaders of the team. You got to remember, you're not in some ivory tower giving orders and taking names. No, you're on the team. You just have a special spot that can help facilitate what the rest of the team does. Now, in this situation, going back to the title, the case of an unlikely leader, I was not the most qualified. So I'm going to take you to a story. And I already said I was a minister, so this is going to be a biblical story. If you don't want to hear it, close your ears. If you want to hear it, go ahead, open it up. But there was a young man in the Bible named David, the unlikely, ruddy, red-headed, youngest, the one who worked out in the field, the shepherd boy. He wasn't likely, and people had counted him out. But he was doing what he was doing well. He did his job to the fullest, and potential was known to be in him. And they had to go find him. They had to go find him so that he could do what he needed to do. So he could be the leader, so he could be the king. And I'm not talking about calling myself a queen, but I know that I was called to lead. I was called to lead. And that leadership potential was seen in the works that I was doing. Not because I filled out an application, not because I had all this experience, because I was doing what I do and doing it well, and it was recognized. Also, in this situation, I learned that when you're incredibly invested, other people will invest with you. They will invest with you. I'm telling you, there were times when people flat out did not like me. I know they didn't like me. My teacher pulled me aside a few times and said, girl, they're not going to like you. At the time, I didn't really care because competition was coming. And we needed to get what we needed to get done. I didn't care. I didn't care. I had to learn that lesson. There was never a full-out rebellion. Never. Never a full-out rebellion. But that was because of something else that I have had in my other leadership experiences. I had allies. I had allies within the group that I was a member of that may have been ready to turn all their backs or not turn their backs to me and ready to come see me outside. I am from Durham, North Carolina. We can get about it sometimes. But I had allies in the group and they knew my heart. Even the people who weren't always my allies, they knew my heart. And at the end of the day, I wanted us to be great. At the end of the day, I wanted us to be excellent. At the end of the day, I wanted us to look great and represent well. And they knew that. I wasn't saying what I was saying and doing what I was doing because I wanted to shine. I was saying what I was saying and doing what I was doing because I wanted us to shine. Leaders, it can't be about you. It can't be about you. At the very end of the day, it's not about you. It's about that organization. It's about that team. It's about that business. It's about the people you're serving. It can't be about you. Because if it's all about you, why do you need anybody else? Yes, it's great to get recognition. Yes, it's great to get shine. But it's not all about you. It's about the team. If you are a leader, you're leading a team. You're leading people other than you. It's got to be more than about you. Because if it's all about you, you're not really worth the risk. You're not worth the risk. So, the case of the unlikely leader. I was given an opportunity to lead in a situation where I wasn't the most qualified. I wasn't the most experienced. But did I have a chance and an opportunity, and I seized it. I saw the opportunity, I got the word, and I seized the opportunity. Some of us right now aren't in the leadership positions that we could be in because opportunities are coming to us. We're either one, not recognizing them, or two, not taking advantage of them. Are you afraid to lead? Hmm. And know that leadership is not all about the big position. Some of us aren't leading and doing the things that we need to do because we're so worried and waiting for the big position. There's so many opportunities to lead in your life. So many opportunities to lead in your life. But you got to take those. And that leadership starts with you. Are you leading yourself? Leading yourself to greatness, leading yourself to excellence. And then for those of you all who have families, your first ministry is at home. Are you leading your family? What are you doing at home? Your husband, your wives, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your children. What are you doing at home? And then leading outside. Home, you also are at your home, just so you know. Lead you. Lead you. Be the example of excellence wherever you are. People want excellence at their helm. People want excellence at the lead. Make sure you are offering that in everything that you do. And then every time you get an opportunity to show leadership potential, to be a leader in the big and small places, take it. If you don't really have time for it and you can't commit to it, be honest with yourself. Because if I could not really commit to being that choreographer, and legit, I had to give up some stuff for it. I remember at that time when I first went to that high school, I was dancing in a local dance school and had been offered a position in their company at one point in time. I was cheerleading. I was dancing in another community group where I was a member of that company and that we traveled. Um, then I was doing a lot of things at church. I was a Girl Scout, yes, even in high school. I was a Girl Scout. I was a member of the church choir and a member of the church youth, whatever they sent me to. And then one day, my mother sat me down. My dance teacher set me down. My chorus teacher set me down. Please note these were 3 different events, but I had to get set down again and again. And I had to give up some stuff. They made me choose. Do you know how hard it is to choose when you enjoy doing what you're doing? Do you know how hard it is to choose when you're in high school and you feel like you're being effective and you're thinking about applying to college and you need a lot of stuff on that resume? It's hard. Choosing is hard. But I had to make a choice to what I could commit to what I could do in excellence. Adults, we still have to make those choices. I'm still making those choices every day. There's some things I just can't do because my first ministry is at home. I have a daughter who is crazy active in her activities right now. And I'm choosing to be a good leader to her and showing her how she can operate in excellence in her areas. So there's some things I've had to say no to. There's some things I say yes to because I also want her to see that mommy operates in excellence in a lot of different arenas. But I also want her to know I'm showing up for her. So leaders, I hope you have enjoyed this evening. I'm looking on here to see if there are any questions. I see some comments. I missed a few people. Hi, everybody who's come in since we started. I'm glad you are finding this to be timely. And know that this is just week 1. But you're looking at an unlikely leader who's been given a lot of opportunities to lead a lot of people and a lot of places and spaces. And it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Transition is a different type of self-leadership. And it's also a time to learn to look, listen. So I'm glad I've been given the opportunity to do some awesome things, and I'm looking forward to more awesome things to come. But this moment, this opportunity to do Leadership Live is one that came on my heart and one that I'm committed to doing for at least the next 51 weeks. We'll be here together Monday nights at 9 And I look forward to sharing with you more experiences. I have some people who are already excited and they want to join us. So we'll have some guests. But know that leadership is more than being the person recognized at the top. It's work, it's commitment, it's being a member of the team, it's being respected, it's showing up, it's being amazing and excellent in everything that you do. Leadership is a lot. Leadership is a gift and it can be a burden. But for me, is what I love. For me, is what I know I've been called and chosen to do. And until it is no longer what my assignment is, I'm continuing to do it, and I'm going to continue to help grow others in this area. But check one more time to make sure there are no questions. I don't see any. Thank you, everyone, again for coming and trusting my potential to even take your time out this evening to spend some time on this Facebook Live. And I hope that you continue to join me every week. Once again, it'll be new topics every week. Feel free to share this with others who you think could benefit, or even those who you may not know could benefit. Remember, there are some more unlikely leaders out there. You never know whose call and anointing is one that other people don't expect. There are more Davids out there. Know that I love you, and I hope that your leadership continues to live and be live to everyone around you. See you next week. This is Dr. Renita.